How's it going? How how are my fellow meditators doing? Hope you're ready. Another Thursday night. We're gonna do this. But I just thought before we get going on our 20-minute meditation, that I'd bring attention to something uh, that you might be doing involuntarily. I noticed when I started meditating that my mind was very scatterbrained. I would get lots of thoughts coming in about life all over the place, um, positive ones, negative ones, and the whole idea of meditation obviously is not to get caught up on all that and to really build your focus, your mindfulness, and your awareness of the present moment. But every now and then, I'm not saying this tonight, but on your own, sometimes it's okay, at least in my experience, to let yourself go with those thoughts. Um, I've heard there's a guy I follow, I think you might call it the just do nothing technique, where you just sit in a chair and you just let your mind do whatever you're going to do. You can sit there for 2 hours, and that's tough in itself, is to sit in one place for 2 hours. Um, uh, but just go with your thoughts, because it's amazing how much we keep ourselves distracted from those thoughts. As much as we try to be present and mindful in meditation and not get absorbed with all that, sometimes there's a need to get absorbed with that and look within. And this kind of leads into what I was talking to about last week about other pieces of the puzzle, um, and maybe some introspection, really examining um, what's going on in your life. I sometimes feel like this might be one of the biggest reasons why people don't do inner work or they don't do meditation, is because uh, they don't like what they see. Now, hold on one second. I'll be my doorbell is ringing. I don't know. I'm in the middle of my thing. Well, that's the first time I've ever had that happen. My wife, she was out with my daughter. They were just having one of my daughters anyway. They were having some mommy-daughter time, and the door was locked. I don't know why the door was locked, but it was. So anyway, usually they're really good about all this. Um, but anyway, back to what I was saying about the introspection and some of the things we might not want to face in our lives. And trust me, I have that stuff. It comes. I don't think that ever goes away. As you're going through life, all the problems of everyday life, they're coming, and there is a time needed to put your attention on that stuff. So, yeah, I just, you know, go with it sometimes. Sometimes you're doing a meditation, and it all comes in, and it's better to. It's funny. It feels like you're just fighting it the whole time. You can spend 20, 30 minutes, 40, an hour, whatever, and it feels like you're just fighting those thoughts coming in over and over again. So I can hear them in the background. So what I'll do is I'll shut up. We'll get to our meditation. We'll do our 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll continue from there. All right. Let me put some music on. We'll get going. Alright, sorry I didn't adjust my camera like I normally do. So you can see the full sit. Believe it or not, I was a little frazzled by my wife when they got home there. They were being so loud in the kitchen. And I even told them, I was like, when you come home, be quiet. Do my live thing. And that's what happens, family, kids, it's tough, working it all out. But what are you gonna do? You know, yeah. So what I was saying there about the introspection there, the looking within. Take some time to do that. It's tough, right? Because no one likes dealing with their garbage, right? But it's good. It's beneficial. Sometimes, it's like one of the darker sides of meditation is when you actually have to go through some of this stuff, and go through all your baggage. But I think it's better off, I've had times where I've gotten depressed, and you could say, well, that's a negative thing. I don't want that in my life. But really, it's leading to, a positive outcome. There's really no bad side effects, at least that I have found from meditation. That there are bad side effects, but they lead to better outcomes. You deal with with some of those things. But I've heard there's some other harder sides of meditation. The mind is a powerful thing. So if you have strange beliefs about meditation and what it can do, I think it can manifest some things in your life that you might not like if you have a strong belief that it's a bad thing. Like if you think it's letting demons into your body or something. I know there's a lot of fundamental religious people have beliefs in those things, and you can manifest stuff in your ego, your mind, about that. But I think I've said enough about looking within. We can get into that. I do these every Thursday, so if I have other things I need to say about it, I'll drop it in there. But I will get on to the spiritual reading of this week. Now, this week I picked a Bible verse, and I think I'm on week 11 or 12 of doing these sits. And this is the first time I've ever read anything from the Bible. Just because I thought that most people who are watching this probably come from Western culture, and know something about the Bible and have, a whole bunch of, thoughts on it. So I thought I'd bring some more, teachings, that you may not have heard before. But the Bible's full of tons of cool spiritual truths. And I thought for this one, I would do the parable of the sower, which is in Matthew 13. I think it's in some of the other Gospels too, but this one is gives you a nice long version of this parable. So yeah, this is from the Bible, Matthew chapter 13, the parable of the sower. That same day Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on the rocky places, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they were withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has an ear, let them hear. The disciples came to him and asked, Why do you speak to the people in parables? He replied, Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they will have, will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Through hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes, because they see, and your ears, because they hear. For truly I say to you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop, yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. So, that's the scripture reading for tonight. We've done our meditation, we've talked a little bit, so I'll wrap things up. Remember to join me every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch. I also post these meditations on YouTube if you want to come watch them there and do the sits. Remember to keep up with those sits, and if you're new to meditation, I always throw out this challenge. Try 30 days, 20 minutes a day. Get yourself a stopwatch for 20 minutes. See if you can do 30 days and what it might do for your life and enhance it. But I'll wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, good night.